家里死的是男主人，现在现场死的是家属，有没有人来管？这就是通山县人民政府啊！现在通山县人民政府门口啊，现在又死了一个家属啊！通山县人民政府没人管，没人理，有没有天理啊？
这几万东西去了，除非随机分务，大厦是啥意思？大厦的。
这就是我们汕头市所有的哥的姐，交通局不给我们生存空间，我们现在正向他们讨要一个说法。这就是汕头市出租车，我们现在已经全部停运，所有司机都已经聚集在一起，就等着领导接待我们。
我们是那个派出所这边过来通知的，昨天下午这个大概6点多的时候通知的吧，因为这个是应该是整个娱乐行业都停业没有说营业，数量大概能接待到50多个吧，就是我们还是配合这个政府的工作吧。
也是那个文旅部28号向全国发了个紧急通知，要求这个临时关停。昨天那个听力那个市场处就转发下去了，发的各市都落实。昨天那个市都呢可能反响也比较大，我们呢在各地都在积极做工作。
这看梨园学校对面好大，挨到学校的时候，消防人开几个。
视频美
女消毒啊，绿码有的啊。
又一次成功结账，心里太舒服了。又来一车历史性的时刻，继续还能有40多分钟到营地。Thank you so much. You're so kind. 他们还不知道限购。
Japan has reported a surge in cases amid fears that a lack of testing and social distancing has allowed the virus to spread undetected. Tokyo has recorded its highest number of new daily cases, with 68. In the United States, President Trump has extended restrictions until the end of April.
Workers will get $1,500 a fortnight to help them survive the next 6 months. The Prime Minister's $130 billion package to support a staggering 6 million Australians.
Our state is stepping up to stage 3 and the Premier is laying down the law. Gatherings of more than 2 people about to be a criminal offence.
At some time this week, the plan is for this London makeshift hospital to be open for business, with 500 beds and an intensive care system in place. No one is downplaying the urgency.
President Trump extending social distancing guidelines at least into the end of April. Says he expects great things to happen on June 1st. This is a member of the White House task force says more than 100,000 Americans could die from the virus. I want to bring back Dr. Ashish Jha, director of the Harvard Global Health Institute. Doctor, good day to you and thank you for coming back. I think it's the 4th time we have talked here. A couple things I want to rattle through. Number one, Dr. Fauci, 100,000 deaths. Does that sit right with you in America?
That's a pretty high number, and obviously I think we should do everything we can to lower that number, but that may be the reality unless we really get on top of this thing. Yeah.
So Abbott Labs comes out with a 5-minute test over the weekend, point of contact test. What can that do? Maybe not so much for New York, doctor, but other cities that are waiting for the wave to come their way.
I think this could be a game changer, and I don't like using that word too lightly, but I love this test. And if it turns out as good as it sounds, and if we can get this test out across the country over the next week or two, I think it can make a big difference in ramping up testing, identifying who's sick, who's not.
Doctor, what's coming to Georgia and Florida and Louisiana if it's not already there?
Yeah, I've been looking at the numbers, Bill, and it's making me really worried. We're seeing cases rise quickly across all 3 states, other states as well. And what that means is their hospitals are days away, at most weeks away from really getting into the kind of trouble we're seeing in New York. And so everybody's got to pull together right now.
One of the things that I picked up over the weekend, doctors like yourself, they consider this a Pearl Harbor moment, like a sneak attack, and the country has to unite and pull together and figure out how we best fight back and defeat it. Is that how you see it, Doctor?
Absolutely, Bill. And this is why I was so happy to see the president make what I think is a very fact-based, science-based decision to extend the country's kind of standstill through the end of April. And And what he said, which I think is right, is we're going to let the facts on the ground determine when to open up. But here's the bottom line. We are one country, and so everybody's got to pull together. Everybody's got to make decisions based on fact. Texas, Florida still haven't really closed. They got to do that. We all have to work on this together as a country. We're going to defeat this thing, but only if we're working together.
Locals in Wuhan believe 42,000 people died, not 3,000, as the communist regime has claimed.
China's figures are pure fantasy, and I think everyone knows that. Iran's figures probably too. Totalitarian regimes that are all about saving face are typically not very honest with the world about what's actually happening in their countries, and a regime that lies about everything isn't going to be honest about this crisis.
You know, we're rubbing our own nose in this, and we want to rub the whole nation's nose. We can never allow this to happen again to the United States of America. Medical security, food security, all of that is a national security. We can never again be supplicants, particularly to the bad hombres of the Chinese Communist Party. This is not about the Chinese people. I can tell you that they are among the most hardworking, tenacious folks on earth. Decent, that's old 100 names is the equivalent of the deplorables here. Hardworking folks. This totalitarian dictatorship that allowed to what happened in Wuhan, the biological Chernobyl. I want everybody in this audience to understand something. If they cut off those reagents, if they cut off the associated pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, right? It's over. You're not going to get your drugs, right? You're not going. They have 100%, 90%, I think, market share right now, or 90% of the control agents. When we see these planes coming here, that's not a day to celebrate. That's not a day to celebrate. These masks, guys like Mike Bowen that we've had on the show early on that stood up the old Kimberly-Clark plant, Jack, down in Dallas, that you and the team, Dr. Hatfield, were able to track down, that's now cranking 24 hours a day. It's outrageous. This is the globalization project. This is why I'm a populist and a nationalist. This is outrageous. We have put to jeopardy every citizen, whether you're a progressive Democrat or whether you're a right-wing Republican, right? We have put in jeopardy the citizens of this nation. We've put at jeopardy because how we've looked the other way. The China price comes at a huge cost, right? And we allowed this to happen by people who made these decisions who know the price of everything and the value of nothing. And that's why we're in this jam. And we've got to, it's got to be, and that's why I say the new greatest generation is this young generation coming up. It's going to be upon your shoulders to actually turn this thing around. But hopefully in this next 30 days, and what we hope to do in this program in the next 30 days is make sure we fully embrace, fully own all the mistakes we've made. All the mistakes we've made as a country. By the way, there's plenty of time later, Nancy Pelosi, there's plenty of time later to adjudicate everything, and we're going to hold people accountable. The Wall Street faction, the corporatist faction, the political faction, the lobbyist faction, everybody got us in this jam. But that's for another day and time. And trust me, we love doing that stuff.
短短的这几天，历史在被我们改变，把中国这个人已经在世界上即将产生的排华的危机、排亚洲人的危机，甚至造成种族大屠杀。1998年的印尼排华大屠杀和1947年、和1847年、1841年、1850年的排华法案的这样灾难的事情发生，再次发生，威胁每个人的时候，我们将中国人病毒改成了共产党病毒。同时，我们在 G20 这一次，中共成功的让全世界吃下人食丸，要让全世界打跪下的这个战略彻底失败。这些国家开完 G20 以后，对我们完全不一样。爆料革命已经再次树立了最高的信用。很多国家领导人把我们当初提供给他们的香港的运动的信息重新翻开了看。很多人跟我们说，特别是欧洲几个国家，他说：“对不起啊，郭先生，原来我们每个小组每天报告的关于香港你们提供的信息， 我们只看几乎没有任何意见。现在我们再回看香港，从5月20号你提醒给我们报告，到6月3号、6月4号、6月6号、6月7号、6月17号，香港上大街，到预警香港从这个官方戒严和隐形戒严，和派到香港的中国人民解放军在香港派的假警察叫黑警，包括在广东东莞深圳宝安所喷的香港警察的车辆、救护车辆和准备好香港的警服，以及到香港的渗透，包括4大不要脸家族，包括使用准化学武器，包括要抓捕1万人、2万人，包括几千人已经被杀掉，包括大陆人被抓回从香港的抗议当中抓回大陆的几万人，包括死亡人数，包括建造的几个军事的在军事解放军驻港设施建立的监狱，包括陈延林母女士被杀害，这些证据让他们傻了眼，说 Ms.L， 我们过去感觉到香港人是很可怜，我们也在怀疑，但是我们没感觉到痛。就像我们所有人都认为这个冠状病毒只会传染中国人和亚洲人，不会传染西班牙人、意大利人、英国人、法国人、德国人、美国人一样，加拿大人。现在我发现我们传染上更可怕，所以他们说香港真的是你所说的灭共的第一道大门。我们深信不疑，你说的这个冠状病毒跟香港的运动是有极密切的关系。而且这些国家在G20会以后说，我们会尽快的形成联合的力量，在这些国家面对疫情的同时，一定要和这些国家联合起来，让中共说清楚这病毒怎么来的。所以接下来我们将会世界各国一定查清楚，到底这病毒是怎么来的，要中共面对调查，同时要把病毒查清楚跟香港这些孩子和运动什么关系。